Hi, this is Allison Villars with Health and Human Services in St. Tammany Parish Government, and we're here for our second In the Loop show that's keeping you in the loop on what's going on in the parish. Today we have with us Jennifer Barnett, and Jennifer is in charge of workforce development in St. Tammany Parish, among other parishes, and she represents the Business and Career Solutions Center. So I'm going to ask Jennifer to tell us what the Business and Career Solutions Centers is all about, particularly as it relates to employers.
Sure. Hi, Allison. So happy to be here and be here on the show. We're really excited about making sure that all the citizens of St. Tammany are really connected to what's happening in the parish, particularly when it comes to workforce development. And the Business and Career Solutions Center for St. Tammany is located in Slidell. It's located on 524 Gauze Boulevard, and it's really there to connect job seekers with employers and take care of all those gaps that might exist in between.
Okay, so job seekers will come to your office.
Correct.
And employers will walk into your office?
Mostly employers contact us via the phone, internet, and also we go out to reach employers where they are, to meet them where they are, to identify what their needs are.
Okay, so what type of employers and how many are coming into the center at this point? And what do they do when they get to the center?
Well, typically we serve about 500 employers a year, but we're hoping to double that amount this year. We work with employers to try and identify what their specific needs are, and we work with every type of employer, but specifically we work with the positions, work with them on the positions that are helping to pay more self-sustaining wages. So we really focus in on the high demand, high skill, high wage occupations, but we work with individuals from every level. So that means we work with employers and their positions at every level, but we really do try to promote those higher end wage jobs, paying at least $11 an hour. And there are lots of different things that we can do to help those employers really promote those higher level positions.
So is there a range in this higher level? Because $11 is still not quite high enough to...
It is. It's not high enough, but it's also not the minimum wage. We know that individuals can't survive on those minimum wage jobs. Although we do work with individuals, maybe there's some stopgap employment that they need to have, whatever their need is. But we really focus in on those positions that are paying higher, and there's no upper end. We work with all positions. So we work anywhere from entry-level positions, mid-level positions, trades, professional level, all of those levels in between. So we work with all of those different positions. We try to meet the employer where they are and help them find the individuals that they need. We recruit from all over the parish. We recruit from the different schools. We recruit from the general population. And particularly, we have first access, premier access to individuals who've recently lost their job. These are individuals who have tremendous skill, oftentimes have never been without a job. And so we really work with those individuals to help them reconnect to the workforce so that they can move forward.
So talk to me about like an individual employer and tell me how they would get in touch with a particular person, particularly as you realize, you know, these people who are unemployed right now, who might have high skills, how are they going to learn a different employer skill set?
Absolutely, great question. Individuals who are receiving unemployment are all registered already into our system. We have a really robust, it's not very pretty, but it is very robust and excellent system called Hire. It's a statewide public workforce system online, great job board with tremendous tools for both job seekers as well as for employers. So their first step is they're all registered. That's a requirement for receiving unemployment. In addition to that, there are individuals who are identified by the state that might have a more difficult chance in getting reemployed. So it's what they call profiled. So oftentimes they're asked to come into our center automatically so that they can be oriented to all the different services that we provide. Because we do provide assistance in career assessment. We do review resumes. We identify where their skills are and is there anything we need to do to help change those skills, upgrade those skills, move into a different direction, or help them just connect to a new employer?
Well, I know that when I met you a while back in a different capacity, you helped the company I was with do on-the-job training. So
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about these people who don't have that skill set but are ready to go to work and on-the-job training?
Absolutely. On-the-job training is probably one of my absolute all-time favorite programs for both the employer as well as the job seeker. Job seekers oftentimes will say, I don't have time for training, I need a job now. And we all understand that. We get that. We all have bills to pay. So I totally get that. Then we have employers who are like, well, I just need someone that has that I think will fit in. I'm happy to train them in whatever I need to train them in, as long as they have, they're committed to the job. So on-the-job training is a phenomenal program that's funded through the federal government, but it's administered locally. It's administered here in the parish through the Workforce Center, where we reimburse the employer a portion of the individual's wages. 50% is typically the amount, so it's up to 50%. And typically, that employer then is training the individual on the job. So if you have someone who is a welder or someone who is a customer service representative, maybe working in a field that they've never worked in before, it's very rare that an individual walks into a job and they're productive and ready on day one. So almost everyone could benefit from on-the-job training. So if we're able to make the employer eligible, which is very, very simple, employers need only to have been in business for at least 2 years, have at least two full-time employees. The position they're looking to fill is full-time, it's permanent, and pays minimum $11 an hour. We really target those higher positions. And the individual they're interested in doesn't have all the skills. Maybe they have some training, maybe they have some of the skills, but they don't have all of them. Then we can help cover that cost to the employer, that indirect cost of training that person for the job. And so we have all kind of formulas and calculations we have to do in paperwork and eligibility, which is never fun, but the end result is that an employer can get someone trained the way they need them trained to do the job. And believe it or not, the individuals that go through on-the-job training, 92.4% are still on the job more than a year later.
Oh, that's great. That is phenomenal. So you have a tax incentive program for employers?
Yes, we do. Actually, but before we cover the tax incentive plan, let me tell you, with on-the-job training, typically the amount, businesses will ask me, well, how much of a financial benefit can that be? And typically we can offset those wages to the tune of about $5,000 or $6,000, depending upon how much training that individual needs. So a new hire, or even upgrading someone from an entry-level position to a higher-level position, we might be able to cover their training.
So all they have to do is call you and say, I'd like to talk to you about on-the-job training.
Absolutely.
Okay,
That's
great.
all they need to do is call us at 985-646-6410.
Okay. Do they ask for a particular person, or anybody can help them?
If they indicate that they're calling about on-the-job training, we'll get them to the right person.
Okay. So tax incentives?
Tax incentives. This is actually a federal program, but the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. It's a federal tax credit that's authorized and reauthorized by Congress every year, and it's actually currently been approved all the way through the end of 2018. But this is a tax credit that incentivizes businesses hiring individuals from special target populations, particularly individuals who have been receiving TANF, either short-term or long-term. That would be food stamps. Or individuals who are veterans who are returning, whether if they've been unemployed, or if they have a disability, a service-connected disability. Businesses can earn a tax credit ranging anywhere from $1,200 to $9,600 per new hire if they're from one of these special populations. And it's really so simple for them to access this tax credit. It really is nothing more than 2 forms that they add to their hiring packet, the same as when they have their I-9 and their W-4 and the L-4, whenever they have someone starting new. They add slip these 2 additional forms in there, upload it to the state. The state will do the rest, send them confirmation if someone's eligible. Great, they get the tax credit. If someone's not eligible, they still have a great employee. Either way is fine.
That's amazing. I have really one other big question, because I also, in another capacity, have benefited from this. Incumbent worker training.
Incumbent worker training, there's 2 levels of incumbent worker training. I mentioned on-the-job training. We've always talked about new hires, but some recent changes in the legislation allow us to do more what we've traditionally called incumbent worker training, but it's technically on-the-job training. So where we can take someone who's in a lower position and you can help train them to a higher position, that's still on-the-job training, so still follows those same rules. Incumbent worker training, that's where we're just trying to do upgraded training. That's actually administered directly through the state. It's actually not administered at the local level. However, with incumbent worker training, you're talking about engaging one of the local schools or a national school that can actually, maybe you're providing some off-the-shelf training or some customized training through North Shore Technical Community College. Well, they'll work with the employer to develop a training program, curriculum, to upgrade the skills of, say, for example, with all the recent changes to healthcare and everything being online and all the medical coding components changed. Most coders were what they call ICD-9 trained. So businesses could apply for incumbent worker training dollars to get individuals, get their coders upgraded to ICD-10, which was the next evolution. Mm-hmm. That's a perfect example where incumbent worker training can be utilized.
I'm really happy to hear that. I think that a lot of companies have missed that at this particular point in time.
Even more than that is the Small Business Employment and Training program, which is similar and administered by the same office that administers the incumbent worker training. This is specifically designed for the smaller employer. It's not competitive where incumbent worker training is. It's not, the SBET, Small Business Employee Training, is specifically for off-the-shelf training. So let's say you want to change your computing, your accounting system from Peachtree to QuickBooks. Mm-hmm. Just whatever you might want to train them in. You can actually get this funding up to, I believe it's $3,000 per individual, and to purchase off-the-shelf training. That's where no one's creating the training for you. If you've identified it, maybe it's online, maybe it's in person, but you can actually have that training paid for.
And we're talking about all this because as you work with employers, mm-hmm. then you have employers who understand your system and can put all their jobs online. Correct. So that our unemployed or people who are newly mm-hmm. into the job market can actually access those right. jobs.
Now, something to also remember is that with our system, we actually have 250,000 people who access our system every year who are looking for work. Some of them are passive job seekers, meaning that they're still working in other jobs. Some are from out of state, and then some have been unemployed. So we have that large pool of candidates that are available to employers. And there's a misperception about the individuals that we serve. Some people seem to think that, one, we're the unemployment office. We're not the unemployment office. We're the employment office. So a lot of people think that we have individuals that have significant barriers to employment. And we do. We do serve individuals who have barriers, and we work very diligently with all of our partners to help remove those barriers. But we also work with individuals who don't have barriers. They're just looking for a new job, change of career. We have individuals, at least 85% have a high school diploma. 53% have some level of post-secondary education or certification. 15% have a bachelor's degree, which is on par, actually a little bit higher than the state average. 2% have a PhD. So we have all levels, all disciplines of employment. Also, our system does more than just make those connections of people who are coming into our system directly. So in addition to the 500 plus employers that we work with to post the job openings every year, we also have a spidering component. And what that means is the system is supposed to be a one-stop. In fact, even our computer system is called a virtual one-stop. So we don't want people to have to go to lots of different job boards, different public job boards. Mm-hmm. So we pull that information in. So positions that were, say, at your former employer, we would pull those in automatically. So that way, when a job seeker goes to look for jobs, they're there already.
That's great, Jennifer. So. Well, I know we're going to talk to one of your colleagues mm-hmm. shortly, and I appreciate your time. So we're going to end this segment and come back with Liz Terrence, who's going to talk to us about some additional services out of the Business and Career Solutions Center. Thank you.
Research indicates that today's children may not live as long as their parents. That's why the American Heart Association created this new comprehensive health, wellness, and fitness movement, My Heart, My Life, to empower Americans to get healthier. As part of this movement, The American Heart Association is launching innovative programs in communities across the country, focused on eating and cooking healthier meals, getting daily exercise, and learning how to grow nutritious foods. We bring communities together with the common goal of improving health through fun and engaging activities like community kitchens,
My heart, my life, my community.
teaching gardens,
My heart, my life, my garden.
walking paths, and family fitness activities.
My heart, my life, my path.
With over 99% of Americans needing to improve their heart health, we want to encourage all children, adults, and families to get active together.
My heart, my life, my family.
Join the movement, myheartmylife.org.
This is why you get by on 4 hours sleep. Why you took a second job. This is why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing and spend hours juggling the bills. This is why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Now more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert today.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
I'm here with Liz Terrence, also from the Business Career and Career Solutions Center located in Slidell for St. Tammany Parish. And Liz is going to give us some additional information about employment. But before we get there, I just wanted to say a couple of things. Jennifer Barnett, who was our previous visitor, talked about the tax credit that employers can get. And what I found out during the break is that there's only 30% of employers actually know it exists in the greater New Orleans metropolitan area. So I'm hopeful employers are listening and decide that they want to call and figure that out, because their incentive, their tax break could be anywhere from $1,200 to $9,600. So make sure you make a call to the office, the Business and Career Solutions Centers, to find out more about that tax credit. And the other thing is the unemployment rate in St. Tammany Parish is pretty low. We're at 4.8% as of August of 2017. And as of September, we're down from September of 2010. We were at 6.5%. So though we do have people who are unemployed or just stepping into the job market, we don't have as many as we used to have. And we're looking forward to get all those who are seeking jobs gainfully employed. And that's why Liz is here. We're so happy you could come.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Liz, I understand you're new to the Business and Career Solutions Center. So how did you find that job?
Actually online on their website.
So they had listed the position.
Yes.
So tell us about you as a job seeker when you went online with, is it Hire?
Correct. That is our website that we use for job employment. And so I went on Hire. I was looking for a job. I've been out of the workforce for over a year. I stayed home. I had 2 small children. So I was ready to get back to work. So I went online. I would go every day to search. Saw this position one day and applied for it and heard back from them. And I've been working there 2 months almost.
Oh, that's great. So you're a new hire.
Yes.
And you're like people who would step into the job market, qualified people who've been out of work, stay-at-home moms coming back to the workforce is one example of that. So tell me, what website did you go to?
So you can go to tryparishworks.net. That is our website, and you can reach all of our information on there.
Okay, there's another website too, LA Works?
Yes, if you want to go directly to our hire board where we have our job postings, you can go to laworks.net/hire, and that is where you'll see all the available jobs that we have posted.
That's cool. So who do you work with at the Business and Career Solutions Center?
Well, the majority of my time is with the youth. I work from people from 16 to 24. But I also do some adult hires or adult unemployed also as well. But we have a great youth program that we have at the workforce, and we focus on individuals from 16 to 24, those who may not have finished their high school education, or maybe those who haven't had any employment ever before. We have programs where we give them work experience, where we pay their salary so they can work for an employer to get, basic job skills that you need or stuff that you would learn on your first job. We also get them signed up so they can go finish and get school and get their high set. Once they receive their high set, we also can assist them with tuition so they can further their education into many other fields that they would choose to go to.
So a 16-year-old who's never worked before, I'm just using this as an example, might come to you and say they finished high school. They might come to you and you could actually put them to work at an organization for work experience?
Right. We try to use different nonprofit organizations, and we use companies that's in the in our area, local companies. And what we do is if they're eligible, we can place them in a position. We actually pay their salary, so there's a great benefit to the employer because they don't have to pay for it. And for 6 months, they will work with that employer, and they will get basic job skills and learning, and that also helps give them something to put on their resume so they can go out and obtain a substantial job where that would be sufficient for them to live on.
Right, and so I asked about a 16-year-old, but that's all the way to 24-year-olds.
Correct.
Is that correct?
16 to 24, and all they would have to do is come in and fill out a small application. We can determine if they're eligible and also let them know what we can assist them with.
Okay, so tell me, if somebody walked in and they were in that age range and they said they wanted to become an EMT, what could you help them with?
Okay, well, first we would have to find out if they received their high school diploma or not. If they did not, then we can assist them with obtaining that. Once they're done with that, we can see what programs are available in our area, and we can help them with tuition assistance to receive the credentials that they would need to be an EMT or, other high-paying, high-demand jobs that's in our area.
Okay, so they could study to be an LPN?
Correct.
Okay, and do you have other occupations that people have come in for?
We have some. I have one person now that's in school to do billing and coding in the medical field.
Okay.
LPN is another good example. I'm trying to think it's a variety of truck drivers. So like I said, it's numerous and various positions.
Right, and you told me about a story about somebody who came in and that you helped. Can you talk about that young man? I think it was a man and was 18 years old?
He was 18 years old. He's never worked before. He came in, he joined our program, but actually, instead of doing work experience, we found a company that would do on-the-job training for him. So as Jennifer spoke earlier, he's worked for this job. We paid up to 50% of his salary, and for the first 6 months, he trained and learned the position. Once he was done with his on-the-job training, he remained with the company, and he made over $60,000.
So he's still there?
Yes, ma'am, as a full-time employee.
And he's still 18, or
he's 19?
He turned 19.
Yes.
Well, congratulations to him and to you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a great success story. And there are other people who come in and have those success stories as well.
Oh, definitely. We have tons. We have some kids or some young adults that come in that haven't finished high school, and now they have received their high set and they're in technical school getting a welding degree. We have various different, success stories.
That's great. Okay, so I know you do reemployment services. So talk to me about an adult who comes in, and what would you do for that adult if they said, I don't know what career I want, you know, I've done this before and I'm not interested in doing that again?
You know, well, that happens all the time, especially, you know, some companies or some jobs are in high demand, and over the years they're in low demand. So when you come into our office, you would come in and you would sign in. Some people are self-sufficient and they go straight to the computer and help themselves. But if you're someone that says, look, I really don't know what I want to do, I'm not sure, we have agents that can help you, that will sit down with you. We can help you rewrite or write a new resume. We can help you post it on our job board so that employers can see it. We can create what we call virtual recruiters for you, and we will go in and tell the computer what job or what kind of job you're looking for, and it will actually email you either daily, weekly, or monthly new positions that are available in the field that you're looking for. And also, if you come to us and you say, you know, I really would like to train in this job, I've never done it before, but it's interesting and I'm thinking about it, we can see if you're eligible, and we maybe help you with on-the-job training or with tuition assistance so that you can go into a high-demand field where you're going to be earning, you know, a living wage and a career.
So what about the exploring careers piece? Isn't there a section on your website where you can go in and explore different careers?
Yes, we have a section on our website where you can go in and it will actually tell you if it's a high demand career or if it's, you know, in demand, or if it's low, how many job positions they have, the posting, the salary, you know, the average salary of that position. So it gives you a lot of information on that website. Also on our website, it'll give you a list of technical or school providers that we actually can help assist you with and send you to if you're eligible.
Okay. So what am I missing? What haven't I talked to you about? Like, do you create people's resumes, or do they bring in a resume and then you actually tweak the resume?
Well, there's several options. If you have a resume, you can actually upload it to our website and it'll go on your account so that you can use it to apply to jobs. You can come in and say, I've never written a resume before, you know, so we'll sit down and go step by step with you and write a resume. Or you may have someone, I had someone the other day who was been employed for 20 years. She said, I haven't written a resume in 20 years, or my resume is 20 years old. So she came in, and then we can update it and refresh it for her. You know, some resume styles have changed over the years, and so we like to make it new and fresh because that is the first thing that the employee sees about you is your resume. So we want to make sure that it's up to date and on point, and that it will really help you with your job search.
So we've talked about a youth program, and we've talked about a reemployment program after people have been out of work and are coming back to work. Right. Is there a program specifically set up for veterans?
There is a veterans program, and veterans do get some preference with different services. We have a person that is there specifically to deal with all of our veterans that are really informative, and they know exactly all the different programs that will help veterans, and you know, will get them in contact with the correct people.
I understand that St. Tammany Parish is one of the top 3 parishes in Louisiana with the most number of veterans here. So that's good that they have a service that they can use.
Right, most definitely.
So do the bases around here, like Alvin Callender Field and the Navy, do they refer people to the Business and Career Solutions Center?
They may, just like some of the unemployed, you know, get referred to our center, you know, because we are based on, you know, we really want to focus on reemployment, and we want to be able to help everyone. We want everyone in our area to, you know, find a great career and a great job.
Are you familiar with unemployment? People who come in and have to file for a weekly benefit? Do you know how that works?
Yes, we have some that do come in and use our computers, but sometimes the unemployment office direct them to come in and register with us. So we help those. A lot of them, like I said, may have been with one job for a long period of time, and that field is just closing or the business is leaving, and so we help those. You know, we help them with reemployment and all of our basic services, resume writing. We help them create their virtual recruiter on the computer so they can get those job searches and new jobs sent directly to them.
Well, this has been a great interview, Liz. For 2 months in, you certainly know a lot, and
Well,
they
thank you
picked
so much.
a great person. So,
Thank you.
and I'm glad to hear you actually found your job online at louisianaworks.net/hire. Thank you so much for joining us for In the Loop. We've had a great session here on employment and on employer services out of the Business and Career Solutions Center located in Slidell, Louisiana, serving all of St. Tammany Parish. Thanks.